Say hi, Isabella.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, everybody. So today we're going to start making. This is one of the most requested item people have been asking me on since they've seen my last videos on how to make cupcakes, giant cupcakes. So today we're going to start the process of making. What are we making today, Boo?
Ice cream.
Yes, we're going to make ice cream cones, and we're going to be using a couple of items. I did this as a test because I wanted to be sure of the base before I go ahead. So this is basically the first step. What was that? So we're going to need the following items. I'll share other items as we go because I'm not sure of all the items we'll be using. But we're going to be using carton sheets. So I have 2 carton sheets here. That's how I created these 2 carton sheets. The height is 30 inches. So we're going to measure 30 inches from here. And the entire width was, depending on the size that you plan to do, the entire width would be about, let's measure, would be about, I'm estimating about 50 inches if you're doing a 30 inches height. Or if it's too big, you can always adjust the size according to what you're making. But for this, we are using a 30-inch height and about 50 inches width. So let's start. So we're basically creating the base of the cone. Yeah. Thanks, Woo Woo. So because it's sold in this size, I think it's sold in this size, or it's sold this way, but I had to cut it for during shipping. I'm going to attach it together to create the size, to get the size we need. Oh, let's cut out what we don't need first. So we're going to measure 30 inches. Thank you, Boo Boo. Make sure the roller starts at the beginning. So this is 30. Can you mark it for me? Yes. This way. Good job. Yes. So mark another 30 for me. Yeah, thank you. Now I'm just going to draw down so we don't miss. So we're going to cut out the parts we don't need. For this project, I'm hoping to use, because you need glue, I'm using Yoo-hoo glue. You would also need paper tape. Show them the paper tape. You would also need paper tape, yeah. You would need your hot glue gun. It would come in handy at some point. And my plan for this is would also need expanding foam. Now I know not enough people would have, yeah, would have access to expanding foam, but the alternative for that would be what? Bring that thing, boo boo. The foam that can near the rainbow. Yes, with the orange cover. Yes. Can you bring that, please? Yes. So the other thing you can use instead of the expanding foam would be spray foam. This is readily available, but I think it's a more expensive route. But if you have it available, then this is what we would also need for this project. And this is going to be paper mache. I would have preferred to do. I would have preferred to do styrofoam, to carve everything from styrofoam. but because this is a tutorial as well, and the materials I'll be using are materials you can, easily find, then we're going to use paper mache for now. And I'm also experimenting with ways to make my paper mache sculptures thicker. Thicker, no, like stronger. This way, Google. So you do it like this. I'll give you another one. So now we're just adding tapes for extra support. So now we have our 30 by 50 size of carton. Now the next stage is to sort of roll it, because it's a cone we're making, so we're going to roll this. Now roll. Now, could you get me a kitchen towel, kitchen tissue? I'm sweating. Roll, roll, roll. Good job. Mhm. Thank you. Mhm. Mhm. Careful. So now come out. Keep rolling. Nice. So from this, we're going to get our cone. We're going to get our cone. So to create this sort of shape, because the bottom part has to be smaller than the top, has to be smaller than the top. This is what I did to create that. So I'm just going to cut some straight lines, maybe from about 3 inches from the top. Start cutting from 3 inches. So just cut like straight lines, stuff like this. Maybe about, I think there's about 4 or 5 inches in between. Yeah, this is 4.5. I'm just going to do that all through. Try and keep it straight, not perfect, but straight. Okay. Just about 2 or 3 more. Yeah. So once this is done, you should have something like, oopsie, careful. You should have something like this, with the cuts all around. And now we're going to attach it, close it up here. So let's attach it here. Oops, be careful when doing this. Let's put some glue. Nice job, boo boo. Thank you. So we're just holding it down to dry. Hold it, boo boo. Hold it, please. going down too much. Hold it like that. Yeah, we're adding tapes for extra hold.
Yeah.
Wait. So we sort of have this, trying to make it a circle. I'm going to turn it upside down. And what we're going to do is to start laying these over each other. Make sure they overlap. And we're going to do this round. Overlap is this one will be on top of the other one. So that's what we're going to do round. Ouch! I cut myself. Oh well. So as we're overlapping, you could just use tapes. Oops, I don't know if you can see. Use tapes to hold down. So now we have taped the bottom.
Yes.
If for some reason you want to adjust, you can just take the tape off and adjust. It's a bit it's more like a cone now. So we're just going to use our hot glue gun to just attach, just to make it a bit more. So attach them properly, to the sides. Thank you. So like I was saying, we have our cone now. We're just going to attach these tiny see-through spaces with the glue gun. That's going to take a while, so I'll do that, and then we would move to the next step. All right. So I have this leftover piece of foam board. It's a circle. I think it's about 8 inches. It's 8 inches, and that's the same size as the base of the ice cream. So I'm going to. So can I stand on that now? I'm going to know when I'm done. You stand. So I'm going to use that to cover the base. Just I need some height.
So am I passing it off?
So I'm just using tapes to hold down the base. I'm going to be using a lot of tapes. So this is what it's going to look like. I'm still going to put more tape though, just making sure it's in place. It's going to sort of look like this. This would still all be paper mache, so don't worry about how it looks in the beginning. So there you go, that's our covered base. I had already done this with a carton base, but because foam board is waterproof, I will just I want to see if that works with this as well. Hopefully it's about the same size. Thank you, boo boo. Okay, so this is slightly bigger, so I would not be using this. But let me see if I can put it through. No, I wouldn't be using this. To this possible, thanks. We have our two. I'm making two giant cones. We have our two cones now. Yes. And I guess they look like cones. I'm just going to use this to go around just for extra support. Okay, I like the way this is looking. There you go, see inside. See the inside of this here. So what we're going to do now is to fill. We're going to fill this thing this, because these are props I want to use for rent, so they have to be sturdy and have some weight so that they don't just fall off when used outdoor. So I'm going to fill this with leftover styrofoam pieces, and I'm going to pour in some expanding foam so that it gives it some weight. And then of course I need that because when I'm applying paper mache, this paper or cardboard carton is going to get softer, and the structure will be compromised if I don't have something stored there holding it up. I hope that's clear. So this is the expanding foam. I'm just mixing it up now. And then we have our pieces of styrofoam here that we're going to throw in.
Yep.
So there's the expanding foam. It's getting hot, so I'm just going to pour. I'm going to pour it in.
Oh yeah, pour it in.
Oops, I didn't want this to touch my hand. Let me get the camera to show you what's going on. Oops. Just going to throw the whole thing in there. I need to ditch the gloves. This is why you should wear gloves, so my hand is still dry. So we're just going to throw in and see it's sort of rising now. Yes, throw it in. I would like to press it in a bit so it's already hard. Okay, so we're just going to fill this up with styrofoam and then I'll get back. So this is just about 20 or 30 minutes later, and this is what we have. It still needs some drying time. I'm still going to stuff it with a little bit of styrofoam, but yeah, it's sturdier now. It's more sturdier now. So we'll be moving to the next step once it's completely dry. So the next stage is I already did this, is to have this you know how cones look like, they have this outer layer at the top. So that's what this is for. It's just I just wrapped cardboard around the top part. Remember yesterday we filled in the styrofoam and the expanding foam. It's very hard now. So let's let me show you how I did that. So we have this cone. This is filled as well, and all you need are strips of carton sheets. This is about the leftovers from the initial what I cut off. Remember, I cut off 30 inches, so this is about 9 inches. All right, just going to place that round at the top. What I did though to raise it, if you look at this one, to create the depths, I used foam. I used foam. I think it's packaging foam. Or you could use anything. You could still use styrofoam. You could use carton. I have this just laying around, so I'm going to use it. And this was what I did. I'm literally just putting them together, and I'll stick them here, and then I'll stick them all around, and then it goes, kind of like that. So I've just placed the foam on several spots, and then I'm going to go around like this. I'm using my hot glue gun to apply glue. So I think it looks okay. So we have our cone now, and the next step would be the paper mache.